Alrighty, let's play some Arkham Horror. So, back to the LCG sphere. We're playing two investigators that I have not played on stream. I've played Roland before through just like the Night of the Zealot. So, I don't have a lot of experience with Roland. And then Winfred. So, one second, sorry. Roland, the deck that I built for Roland is built off of sorry. I drink soda and I'm burping. Um Roland is built off of the deck or the guide that Maddie in the Discord set up for Roland. And so we're gonna be playing through Roland. And so let's just talk about the deck. And we're playing standalone mode. So let's talk about standalone mode real quick. You can choose to gain experience. So if you have 0 to 9 experience, you just play. If you do 10 to 19 experience to build your deck, you add another random basic weakness. So it's a really cool way to like build into like the standard standalone scenarios. I just thought that was really cool. And so I did that. I went with 19 experience so that we have an additional weakness in our deck. I drew it. Yeah, so I just drew them randomly. So we have Amnesia, choose and discard all but one card from your hand, and Self-Destructed. When you deal one or more damage to an enemy, take 1 damage. So that one's pretty rough for Roland, who's our Guardian, who's going to be doing a lot of damage. Then we got Cover Up. So we got his special. So we got Emergency Cash, Unexpected Courage, Perception, Overpower, and Guts. Roland is also fairly adept at getting clues. So we've got Working a Hunch, 2 copies of those. We've got 2 copies of Evidence, 2 copies of Dodge. We got Dynamite because that's always fun. We got 2 45 automatics to help deal with some damage. Flashlight, an upgraded magnifying glass. So there's one of our experience. 2 upgraded vicious blows. 2 shotguns. Shotguns are cool. I really like the shotguns. So it has 2 ammo. Spend 1 ammo. Fight, you get +3 for the attack. Instead of standard damage, it deals 1 damage for each point you succeed by, to a minimum of 1, maximum of 5. So like he's now attacking with like a 7, and so depending on how much you succeed by, the more damage you do, which is just really cool. And then we got extra ammunition to keep loading those shotguns up, a couple of beat cops, and then a standard magnifying glass. So cool from the core set. And then we got Winfred, this is built off of the deck. Winfred is a clue beast, full power, let's go, by Lee, or LELEL 555. I don't quite know how to pronounce that, but that's who it is. And so we've got her cards. She drew Indebted. You start with 2 fewer resources and draw the top card of the encounter deck. That card gains Surge, which that sounds like a really rough one to draw, honestly. Her deck, we got Streetwise. So this is permanent. Spend 2 resources, +3 book, or spend 2 resources, +3 feet for a skill test. Got a copy of Manual Dexterity, and I guess her ability. So if 2 different non-weakness cards you control are committed to a skill test, draw 1 card. So she like is leaning into this. Let's exceed. Let's commit more or a lot of things. So you will see a lot of skills in her deck. And then Roland's is after you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. We got Pickpocketing, Slip Away. So after you evade an enemy, exhaust pickpocketing to draw a card. This is an evade, and you get to add your book skill value to the evasion attempt. If you succeed by 2 or more, and it's not elite, it does not ready. Sneak Attack, 2 damage to a exhausted enemy. We got Unexpected Courages. Watch this, which I think is one of the more fun cards in the game. So commit to a skill test you're performing. As an additional cost to commit it, spend up to 3 resources. If you succeed by 1 or more, gain twice that many resources. So you're kind of like betting on yourself, which I thought was really fun. Let's see, what are our other skills? Quick Thinking. If this skill test is successful by 2 or more, after it resolves, you may immediately take an action as if it were your turn. Calculated Risk. Commit only to a skill test you are performing of any type. It gets +1 wild resource for each action you performed earlier this turn. And then we got another manual dexterity. Got fight. Use feet instead of fist. Deals +2 damage. Or that's backstab. Scout ahead is move up to 3 times. Sneak by, evade. You get money when you do it. Pilfer. The investigation uses feet instead of book. If you succeed, you get +2 clues. So she are like, the rogues are just pretty flexible. Lucky cigarette case. After you succeed at a skill test by 2 or more, exhaust lucky cigarette case. Draw a card. Quick getaway. Fast when you play when an enemy attacks you. Evade. Attempt to evade the attacking enemy. Cancel the enemy's attack. We got some money. We got lockpits. So helps us with our evade. Or I'm sorry, with our investigate, but we get to use our feat skill value for the test. And then the entire deck revolves around Chuck. Chuck is a 5 level 5 ally, so you know he's going to be bringing a lot to the table. He has a reaction. It says whenever you play a tactic or a trick event, exhaust Chuck and choose 2. That event gains fast. The event costs 2 fewer resources to play, or you get +2 skill value while performing a skill test during the resolution of that event. So it's insane. Like, that's so freaking cool. And I really do want to start playing more more standalone games, just to like lean into this. Like, this would be a really tough build to build into over, like 5-6 games. And so I'm excited to try it because I think it'll be something different. And allow me to try something out with the higher level cards that I wouldn't normally get to do until I've played 4 or 5 games. And so I think that's like a really cool way to play this game, and something that I want to be doing more of. Maybe not necessarily on stream, but just to try decks out, because Arkham is the game that I feel like I have the least amount of experience, and I am the worst at deck building in, just because I feel like it takes a lot of time to learn how to deck build with it. Are you using Crystallizer of Dreams with Winfred? I don't think I am. I don't know if I have that card. Hey, finally caught you live. Hey everybody, hi, how's it going? Crystallizer of Dreams, I think that was in the build. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't have that card because it's from Dream Eaters, and I don't have Dream Eaters yet, unfortunately. Winfred starts with 3 health, 3 resources, 8 health. So finally, are like a lot of good health here. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Roland gets 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We got our sanity, so we're 7 and 5. I'm excited. I've wanted to play Winfred for a while, but I'm also not 100% sure that she would be a character I would enjoy throughout an entire campaign, because she seems kind of like a... This is not the right word, but it's the word that comes to mind. A stressful way to play. And so, yeah. It's an accessory that transforms events into skills after you use them. Dude, that is crazy. That sounds really cool. But Chuck is fun too with her. Yeah. Huh. That's a cool way to do it. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm gonna be probably next week. I'm gonna start into a Scarlet Keys expansion. And so on the community tab, check and see, because I'm going to be doing some votes or something for how we want to, or who we want to be running, or who we want to be seeing. Oh, forgot self-destructive and amnesia. I'm so hyped for you to play Gambit and Rogue and Marvel Champions. By some miracle, we got them in December in Europe, so it's been so long to see what you can do with those heroes. I am so jealous. I've been checking like eBay and everything, hoping that someone from Europe would throw them up there, but I was not able to find anything like that. But I'm so pumped. I should get them Friday. We will be streaming Friday evening. I think we're going to try and do the unboxing, then 2 games of each hero, and then probably finish those up on Monday. Never played this. Other than being an LCG, does it have any similarities to Champions? No. It's cooperative. I guess I would say it's cooperative. That's the biggest similarity to Champions. But this game is a lot more story driven than Champions. Champions is like quick, and this game is more of a campaign experience. So usually you're playing through like 8 games where you're leveling up your deck, you're growing in your character, they're getting better, they're getting stronger, they're getting different. And so it's a much different experience than Champions. Right, wrong, or indifferent. But Friday evening, nice. Where can I catch you then? Here or on Twitch? I will definitely be on Twitch. I do not know if I will be here also, but it will definitely be on Twitch. I enjoy Twitch more. I think Twitch is a little bit better experience for the live stream. So I'm trying to figure out where we're going to put all of this stuff. But I may switch to also streaming here. So it'll be on Twitch regardless forever. Or always. But we may also have it here in the future. Hey, it's Arkham time. Remind me what scenario we're playing. We are playing the Blob that ate everything. So this is one of the, I don't know if it was a Gen Con or what it was, but it's a standalone scenario. Like we did the Curse of the Rougarou, which in our Dunwich run, this is one that you can add in. And so it's the Gen Con 2019 scenario. So we're playing the standalone mode. We've got all of our tokens already in here, so we're good there. We have time limits if we're playing epic multiplayer, which we're not. Devour Blob. Yep. I'm trying to find. I also am really interested in trying one of these epic multiplayer. So like this game or this scenario, you can play like across multiple different tables, which just sounds really cool, and it's something that I would like to do at some point. Just don't know where to do that. Okay. The Blob that ate everything. Incident report 8L08, Thursday 7/05/1928, Backwater, Massachusetts. 0312 hours, impact event just outside of Blackwater. Intercepted police call, agents sent to investigate. Interviewed local farmer Ron Graham claims the meteor was several feet wide, greenish hue. Crater roughly 100 yards in that's a big crater. Crater roughly 100 yards in diameter. Radiation detected in outlying area. Recommend immediate quarantine and further observation by research team. Situation is under control. It wasn't under control. That was a report that the G-men took when they first arrived. For the next few days, the town of Blackwater was on lockdown. The impact was all that was talked about in the papers, but not much known outside of the enormous crater and the effect it had on the countryside. Nobody was allowed to leave the town, and only those approved by the shadowy government agency were allowed to enter. Those unfortunate few included high-ranking government agents and a team of researchers from the nearby Miskatonic University, who were summoned to investigate the meteor itself. For the rest of the town's inhabitants, it was a strange occurrence, nothing more. That is, until the meteor hatched. Oof. Looking forward to this playthrough. I'm pumped. I've not played this game, or I've not played this scenario, so similar to a lot of my other Arkham plays, this one is blind, so who knows? We'll see what happens. I saw it with my own eyes. When the anomaly emerged, the first thing it did was devour the team of researchers who had been sent to collect and study samples from the meteor. That's a bummer. The next thing it did was devour their lab equipment, then Ron Graham's tractor, then his house in its entirety. It continued to grow and spread, devouring everything in its path. I barely escaped with my life. When the army arrived, they thought they could kill it with bullets and shells. Everything they threw at the creature was devoured, one round after the next. Then it split into hundreds of smaller pieces of itself, and the army was quickly overwhelmed. While the battle raged on, myself and others back in the town saw lights and shapes in the sky above. Something was up there waiting, biding time. The quarantine still holds, and we're stuck in the middle of it. It won't be long before the anomaly has grown large enough to devour everything in Blackwater, and if that happens, who could possibly stop its rampage? Dun, dun, dun. Gather all the cards. If you're playing epic multiplayer, so I've already got all of this. Search the blob that ate everything in counter set for the following cards and set them aside out of play. Oops. So those are the epic multiplayer. Epic multiplayer. I put them somewhere. I just need to find them. Set all cards from this encounter set aside out of play. Take one copy of, all of these cards are, set them aside out of play. Put the subject 8L08 enemy into play next to the agenda deck. It is not at any location. So this has 15 health per investigator, so that's a lot of health. Eeh. Set the locations according to the guidelines below. See suggested location pairment or play. Yeah. Next page. So the crater is in the middle. The research is here. Temporary HQ. Oh wait, research is down here. Temporary HQ is here. And quarantine zone, fungus, quarantine, 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 quarantine. Why do I have one extra? Remove one of them from the game. That's why. That's why I have one extra. Put the crater into play. Take the research site temporary HQ. And add 2 random quarantine zone locations. Shuffle them together and place each of them connected to the crater in a random order. Oh well, that's random enough. Take the fungus mound and 3 random quarantine zone locations. Shuffle them and place one of them in the 4 positions in the outer ring, furthest from the crater. Each investigator begins play at the temporary HQ. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to form the encounter deck. If you're playing epic multiplayer mode, we are not. Okay. Awesome. These go over here because that's part of that encounter set. Alrighty. This is exciting. I've heard really good things about this scenario, and so I'm pumped to try it out, especially with some of these investigators that I have not tried before. And I haven't played Roland since I've gotten a little bit more experience with the game, and so like I guess LCGs is something that you're always, continually learning the game, learning rules of the game. But like this was back when I was learning how to play the game. So okay. I'll go right there. I'm going to read these. So the anomaly spreads. You were in the town of Blackwater when the impact occurred. For several days, you investigated the matter until the anomaly emerged and all hell broke loose. Fleeing is no longer an option, as the quarantine still holds is strictly enforced. It's the only way you're getting out if you're alive is to find a way to kill the anomaly, if such thing is even possible. Each location is connected to each location adjacent to it, orthogonally. So that's nice. At the start of the round, investigators may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. Beware, advancing will expose the anomaly's weak spot. Be ready for a fight. Okay, that's good to know. We need 4 clues, 2 clues per investigator. And then this guy is Monster Ooze Elite. Gets plus 15 health. If subject 08 is defeated, proceed to resolution 2. So this has, I guess, 45 health. That's a lot of health. Yeah, that's a little scary. Okay. Okay, so Roland gets 5. We'll do Roland first. Roland's going to be our lead investigator. No, actually, thematically, Winfred is our lead investigator because I feel like she just would not let anybody but herself be lead investigator. sounds kind of like her personality. So let's do Winfred first. Okay, so we got pickpocketing. We got sneak by. We got Chuck on turn 1, which is excellent. Love seeing Chuck turn 1. Then investigate. Another Chuck. So I guess we'll mulligan one of the Chucks. Let's go ahead and mulligan a pilfer. We don't need a lot of clues, and so we may want to just be kind of exploring a little bit and figuring that. In Arkham, you draw your opening hand before the scenario. Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter. Like the reason that that's interesting is that it's weird because I guess Arkham in general, you have more. It's going to be easier the second time you play, or the subsequent times you play. But like, you would just have significantly more information the next time you play it, which is fine. See if I can get all of this onto the camera. Okay, cool. So we got Chuck, pickpocketing, and then evade. I like those, so we will mulligan these two. We've got lock picks and indebted pilfer. Okay. Not a bad starting hand. And Roland, we've got Dynamite Blast, Perception, Working a Hunch, Emergency Cash, and Vicious Blow. Okay. I honestly kind of like this hand. I kind of like this hand. We got Vicious Blow and Dynamite Blast. I guess like it would be nice to try and get into a shotgun. And so with that thought, let's toss the Dynamite Blast. Hopefully just draw into that later. Keep a Vicious Blow, keep Emergency Cash, keep Perception. Mulligan these two, hopefully get into a Perception. And okay, the 38 special. Okay. So you get +1 fight for this attack. If there are one or more clues on your location, you get +3 instead. That's cool. This attack deals +1 damage. Alrighty. Our temporary HQ. Spend 1 countermeasure. Choose 1. Heal 3 damage, heal 3 horror, gain 5 resources, or draw 3 cards. I don't know what a countermeasure is. I assume that I will learn what those are. So, okay. Sure, out of 2, 0 clues. So we gotta go explore. We're gonna spend 3 resources from Winfred for her first action to play Chuck. Let's just get Chuck out there. So Chuck allows us to do just a lot. Yeah. Let's go to the crater. 2 clues per investigator. It's a 1 shroud. Spin 1 countermeasure. Deal 3 damage to subject or a manifold enemy at any location. At the end of the round, each investigator at the crater takes 1 damage. Okay, let's get out of the crater. So that's there. Let's go up. Let's go up to this quarantine zone. Slimy Streets. After you discover any number of clues from Slimy Streets, reveal that many random tokens from the Chaos bag. For each skull or autofail token revealed by this effect, take 1 damage or 1 horror. See if I can get my clues out there. Okay, so this is going to have 4. And this is 2 per investigator, so 4 as well. I also ordered more clue tokens because I've started playing 2-handed and I just run out all the time. Okay. Let's spend 3 resources from Roland to play his revolver. Let's move up to quarantine zone above him for second action. After a manifold enemy spawns at Uzi Lakebed, place 1 clue on Uzi Lakebed. That enemy cannot take damage this round. That is a 0. And let's just go ahead and play Emergency Cash for 3 money. What's kind of nice is that both of these characters feel like well-rounded. So Roland gets clues, and the rogue just kind of does whatever. And so it's kind of nice to have 2 well-rounded characters. I am going to play a rogue in my Scarlet Witch campaign. It's not going to be Winfred, but it will be a rogue. And so I don't know who to pair with that. So that's going to be one of the community posts to see who should I pair with the rogue, and we'll see what goes on. But I do like the rogues. I think I like the rogues more than I thought I would. Okay, so we will gain a resource because there are no enemies in play. I guess this enemy, I guess it doesn't do anything. Gain resource. Draw a card. Winfred got a sneak attack. Deal 2 damage to an exhausted enemy at your location. And Roland got a beat cop. Ooh, nice. Happy with the beat cop. At the top of the round, we're going to place 1 Doom. Boom. Winfred's card is going to be Reality Acid. Dude, look at that. That's a cool art. The art in this game is so phenomenal. Yeah. Subject 8L08 devours a random aspect of reality. Reveal 2 random chaos tokens from the chaos bag and consult pages 16 to 19 of the rules to determine what it devoured. Okay. Want to just go reread the devour. If a card is devoured, it's placed beneath subject 8L08. Cards beneath are considered out of play. Each devoured card is returned to its owner deck at the end of the game. If an investigator is devoured, he or she is killed. If a token is devoured, it is placed in the token pool. When choosing a location to be devoured, you cannot choose to devour a location if it causes another location to have no valid connections. And it can also devour certain aspects of reality or metaphysical objects. If it does so, you will be instructed in the consequences. Nice. Okay. So this devours a random aspect of reality. Reveal 2 random chaos tokens from the chaos bag. Boom. -2/-2. This is cool. Okay. Chaos tokens in any order. A -2. It has like an entire table of what you do if this happens. -2. The deck box you store your deck in. So my cardboard box is gone forever. I guess it's returned to me at the end of the. That's really funny. Okay. That's fun. And then Roland's card. Wave of Ooze. Test Brain 3. Take 1 horror for each point you fail. Subject 808 devours each card defeated by this effect. Yeah, okay. This is going to be a really cool scenario. I'm already enjoying this. So Brain 3. I guess I'm going 3 to 3 because I got nothing to commit to it. Also, I forgot my ammo. Okay, so 3 to 3. So Cultist. -2. If this token is revealed during an attack. So -2. So I take 2 horror, which is not good. Okay. Alrighty. So let's have Roland go first because we kind of know what Roland's doing. We're going to spend 4 resources to drop a beat cop. And this location feels like, Roland's playground. Because whenever an enemy spawns there, I guess they can't take damage that round. then you get to place a clue, and he gets a clue whenever he defeats an enemy. So, okay, so let's go hang out with Winfred. It's a Shroud of 3. She has Pilfer, which could discover 3 clues. Okay, yeah, so let's go ahead and let's go perception. Let's commit a perception to the test. So we're going 5 to 3. And we've got a skull. What does the skull do? -1 for every 5 cards it has devoured. So 0. Minus 0. So we get a clue. Then, after you discover any number of clues from the bag, reveal that many tokens for each. For each bad token. There are specific tokens for each one. You take a damage or a horror. Nice. Okay. Chuck is insane. Chuck is really, really cool. Let's do... For our first action, we're going to grab a resource. We are going to play Pilfer. We'll exhaust Chuck. We get to choose 2. We're gonna do 2 fewer resources to play. So this costs 2, so we're only gonna use 2. And then maybe +2. So we're investigating. Oh, and we were successful over here with the perception, so we get to draw a card, which is investigate or evidence. Okay. Uses feet instead of books, so we're going with 5 to 3, which is pretty good. I'm actually probably going to use a perception from Roland over here. So, actually, or we could do +3. We could go 7. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go cost 2 +2 skill test. So we're going 7 to 3. We're going to reveal a random token. -2, so we are good. We get to discover 2 additional clues, so that's going to be 3 clues. Then we reveal 3 tokens. This also feels like the where Winfred, high risk, high reward. Wonder if we do this at 1 at a time. 1, 2, 3. None of those. We take damage. Alrighty. So if we wanted to, we could progress. I don't think we want to do that just because it said be ready for a fight. I'd rather be a little bit more ready for a fight. Maybe reveal some more stuff. I want to make sure. What are the countermeasures? I just want to make sure I didn't miss something. Countermeasures represent supplies, research, or military equipment which may aid the investigators in their survival. Countermeasures may be spent via certain card abilities in order to trigger powerful effects. However, gaining new countermeasures is rare, so be careful how you spin them. Okay, so I assume I would be told if I was to get a countermeasure somewhere. Oh, if you're playing in a single group mode, place 1 resource on the scenario reference card as a countermeasure. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we do have 1 countermeasure. Okay. Okay. So countermeasures deal 3 damage to subject. Oh, we can heal 3 horror over here, which actually may be pretty nice for Roland later in the game. But I'm probably not going to use those right now just because I'm afraid of what they can do. So, alrighty. So, enemy phase, nothing is going on. Winfred is going to draw a card. Quick getaway, fast when an enemy attacks you, evade. And then she gets a resource. Roland's going to get a resource and draw a card. Dodge, fast when an enemy attacks investigate at your location, cancel the attack. Cool. Top of the round, we're going to add one here. I probably want to advance before we progress. I'm not 100% sure. That just feels good to do. I kind of want, I guess, like I want to get down to and discover these fungus and the research sites. That's kind of what I want to be doing. But Winfred's card, it got me. Revelation, put it got me into play in your threat area. At the end of the round, place one resource on it got me. Then if there are 6 more resources on it, it devours me. If you are at the research station, spend one countermeasure, discard it's got me. Okay, well, we will have to do that because that seems tough. That seems really rough. Roland has got an oozling spawned at any empty ooze field location. It's a 2/3/2. We're gonna go here. Sweet. Okay, so we do have a lot of time before this happens, so I don't necessarily want to use my countermeasure immediately to get rid of it. Just because I don't know what these countermeasures do. So I probably will wait a couple of rounds to get rid of this. That being said, I'm going to go down to the research site just so I can see what that is. So 1, 2. Spend 2 clues, gain 1 countermeasure. Oh, spend 1 countermeasure, place 2 clues on the research site. Okay. Okay, I'm enjoying this scenario. This is a really cool scenario. Countermeasures over here, heal 3 damage, or gain 5 resources, or draw 3 cards. Countermeasure deals damage, 3 damage to a manifold enemy at any location. Each investigator at the crater takes 1 damage. Okay. So I still have 1 action left. Let's spin 2 clues and get a countermeasure. I feel like we're probably going to have more clues, and the countermeasures, if I can do it right now, I think I want to get more countermeasures. Okay, Roland's going to hop over here to this quarantine zone. After you discover any number of clues from slimy streets, reveal that many tokens. Oh, it's the same one. Okay. This guy is going to engage me. This is not my hand. Okay. And this has 4 clues on it. Okay, so I can discover clues when I kill this thing. I have evidence. Fast after you defeat an enemy. So I want to Roland Banks this thing. Roland Special. This is a good Roland's 38 Special is really solid. So let's go ahead and spend my second action. So we'll spend an ammo, fight. We get +3 because there are 1 or more clues. So we're going with a 4, 5, 8 to 3. What are people's thoughts on this scenario? Because I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, being 2 turns in, 8 to 3, we're good. Okay, so that deals additional damage. Let's do it again. We're just gonna go 5 to 3 even this time. And we're going to draw a -2. Perfect. Okay. So that will deal the less damage. That will kill this oozling. When the oozling dies, as a reaction, I can grab this clue. And then I can spend a resource to play evidence. After you defeat an enemy, discover one clue at your location. It is fast, so I can do that. Okay, so we're back up to 4 clues, which is nice. There's no reason for me to sit... Oh, and I guess like the first one, let's reveal it's not a bad token. And then the second one, it's a skull or a autofail. So we're good. Cool. Okay, nice. Alrighty. Okay, so no enemies, so let's go ahead and just draw a card. Unexpected courage and 1 money. Oh no! Oh wait, hold on. This was indebted was supposed to be was permanent. So calculated risk and a money. Awesome. I have those like card holders stands that I usually do when I'm playing multi-handed or two-handed, and I just forgot them. I don't know, like they're somewhere downstairs. I was like, I'm just gonna try, but I keep putting my cards everywhere, and so I can't ever find my hand. Okay, so let's add 1. I'm really sad that my deck box got devoured. Winfred, Caustic Dissemination. Put Caustic Dissemination into play next to the agenda deck. At the end of the round, each investigator... Oh, and we have to put a... At the end of the round, each investigator at an ooze field location takes 1 damage and 1 horror. And it devours each card defeated by this effect. Discard... Oh, okay. At the end of the round, we discard this card. So I have to get out of the ooze fields. Then Roland's is another oozling. So at any ooze... Oh, wait, hold on. What does Blob 1 mean? Shoot. This is the problem with playing Arkham blind. Blob X, many of the enemies in the scenarios are pieces of the anomaly which have broken apart and have their own sentience. Defeating these enemies damages the anomaly. As an enemy with Blob X is defeated, deal 8 damage to subject 8L08. Alrighty, so with that, let's go ahead and... Let's do this. We've got... That's going to say hero. I'm not going to be able to fix it right now. But it has 45 health. So we did 1 damage. So it's at 44 health. Okay, that's really cool. I like that. Actually, this will be easy to fix real quick. 1 second. Perfect. Now we got it. Cool. So Blob health is at 44. This oozling, let's toss him over here. Okay. So I need to get out of... these are ooze field location. So I could go over to the fungus mount. Although the fungus mount sounds very, very bad. I feel like maybe the fungus man. Oh, the blob who ate everything. Oh, the Arkham one, not the X-Men blob who also ate everything. Yeah, right? Yeah. Is this Maddie? That feels like a Maddie joke. It doesn't say the Diamond's Edge, so I'm not sure. If not, welcome. Okay. One, two. I think I'm just gonna go hang out at the fungus mound with Roland. Let's have Winfred go first. I think Winfred is gonna hang out. Let's see what she does. I could drop a lock picks, which helps with my investigate. Maybe. That honestly may be what I do. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Because I don't really want to go to an ooze field location because then I get a damage, and so I could like come up to temporary HQ. There's no reason for me to be at research site right now and spend a countermeasure to get 5 resources. That could be kind of interesting. Just start jump, and then I can drop lockpicks and pickpocketing next turn. I have a lot of ways to get resources in my hand though. I think I want to hang on to the countermeasures for a while longer. I'd rather chill with the countermeasures than do that. So let's go Roland. Let's go quarantine zone down here. Test book 1. If you succeed, move to a location up to X connections away, where X is the amount you succeeded by. What a cool card. What a very, very cool card. Got 1, 2, and then my second action, I'm going to move over to the fungus mold. Spin 1 countermeasure. Choose a MyGo enemy at any location and test book 0. For each point you succeed, deal 1 damage to the chosen enemy to a maximum of 5. Okay. And then I'm trying to I'm going to draw a card. I know I'm not supposed to do, but I'm going to do it. Shotgun. Nice. Well, it takes 2 hands to use the shotgun. So I think I'm going to hang out with the Roland special for a while and then maybe swap it out later. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so Winfred is going to hang out and let's spend 2 resources to play pickpocketing. Pickpocketing, after you evade an enemy, exhaust pickpocketing to draw a card, just to help with that engine just a little bit. The other reason, or the other good thing about going up here and getting the resources is my streetwise here, but let's gain 2 resources. Just hang out, just because I don't want to take the damage. Okay, so no hunting, no attack or anything. So Winfred will draw a card, which is another copy of lockpicks, and get a money. Roland will draw a card, which is another shotgun, okay, and get a money. Okay, we'll place another resource here, and then at the end of the round, each investigator at an ooze field location takes 1 damage, 1 horror. So and then that gets discarded. Okay. So also we need to unexhaust. Top of the round. Okay, so we're at 4 here. So we may want to... I guess if there's any time to fight... I guess at the start of next turn, we may push through. We may push through at that point. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So Winfred's card is a Grasping Ooze. Spawn at the nearest ooze field location as a hunter. After you perform a attack against Grasping Ooze using a melee card, it devours the big thing. Devours that card. Okay, this is 5 health. That's a good number of health. It's a good bit of health. Let's go here. We're gonna place that here. Roland's card is gonna be Consuming Maw. Test feat 3, take 1 damage for each point you fail by. So we got 2 feet. I guess Unexpected Courage could be used here. I have a lot of health. We're gonna roll the dice and go. Heading out. Congrats on the 2K. Thank you so very much, Nick. Have a good one. Alrighty, so feat 3. So okay, so we take 1 damage. Not bad. Alrighty. So we can deal with this Grasping Ooze. So let's have Winfred go first. We're going to move over here. Quarantine Zone. Choose an exhausted manifold enemy and test book X, where X is that enemy's evade value. If you succeed, defeat the chosen enemy. Max 1 success per game. This is going to engage me. That's 1 action. Let's go ahead and play Sneak By. So this is going to evade. When this action begins, gain 2 resources. So I get 2. 1. 2. And I'm evading a 5. Oh, wait, hold up. This is a trick event. Sick. Okay. Chuck is really fun. This is a really fun build. Okay, so I'm going to choose that it gains fast and that it gets +2. So I'm going to be evading at 7 to 3, and it's a fast action, so this does not count as one of my actions. So 7 to 3. -5. No! Ouch. Ooh. Okay. 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 Was not expecting that. So that was 2. And Chuck is exhausted. This has 2 clues on it too. Just thinking for my guns. Let's try and evade it again. We're gonna go 5 to 3. Yeah, 5 to 3. Good calculated risk here. But I feel like 5 to 3 is pretty decent odds. Now let's calculated risk. So +2. Or 3, I guess. +3. So 8 to 3. Tablet. Oh, geez. Okay, so -3. And then every card that was committed, it gets devoured. Okay, but that does succeed. So the Grasping Ooze is here and exhausted. I can exhaust Pickpocket to draw a card. Boom. Sneak attack. And so I moved, I evaded for free, I evaded again. I think sneak attack may be... I may just sneak attack this thing to deal 2. let's do that. Spend 2 resources to sneak attack and deal 2 damage to the Grasping Ooze. I guess I could test book. Nah. We're going to go 1, 2. And then we're going to use Roland's 38 special. So we're going to be attacking for 5, 8 to 3. So 8 to 3. And we deal an extra damage. 8 to 3. -5. We succeed this time. Thank goodness. I can't believe we pulled the -5 twice. He did it. Yo, Y2K subscribers, what hour of the telethon are we on? And so far, so we've been streaming for about 4.5 hours, so we're about halfway through. So we've got Arkham, up next is Aeon's End, and then Lord of the Rings, and then if we have any time, we're going to do Slay the Spire. So it's been a ton of fun. So that's 2 damage, and then we'll exhaust Beat Cop, deal a damage to Beat Cop to kill Grasping Ooze. And that's Blob 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I discover a clue. All right. I like Roland. Roland's cool. Roland's pretty cool. Okay. So, enemy phase. No enemies that do anything. So we will go into cleanup. So on exhaust, we need, we'll put one there. Draw into manual dexterity for Winfred. She gets a resource. Roland is going to draw into working a hunch. Discover 1 clue at your location fast. And get a resource. Alrighty. Okay, so we could push this time. Do we want to push this time? How are we feeling? I feel like, I mean, we're kind of set up for a fight at this point. I'm wondering if we want to get rid of this first. We would progress, but I don't know if that's a bad thing. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's spend 4. To move. This is the first time the act has advanced. Read the following. You've seen the anomaly's true heart. It lies beneath the surface of the ooze, pulsing with unseen power and guiding its myriad forms with alien hunger. You suspect the organ, whatever it may be, holds all the secret to destroying the anomaly once and for all. Extraterrestrial physiology. The creature's heart is exposed. Now is your chance. After the amount of damage is placed on a vulnerable heart, place twice that much damage on subject 8L08 as well. While an investigator at your location is attacking vulnerable heart, spend 1 clue. That investigator gets +2 for this attack. At the end of the round, you must advance. Uh-oh. I don't know what vulnerable heart is. Am I supposed to know what vulnerable heart is? After any amount of damage is placed on vulnerable heart. Uh-oh. So at the end of the round, you must advance. So the act goes pretty quick. But I don't know if I'm supposed to find vulnerable heart or what I'm doing. So I guess we'll just continue and play. I wonder if it comes out later and I just messed up. This says as many times as it's advanced, so I'm guessing it probably resets at some point. So we'll place 1. Winfred. Alien food chain. Revelation, if there are no manifold enemies in play, it gains search. Otherwise, attach to a manifold enemy with the least remaining health and fully heal that enemy. Attached enemy gets +1 fight, +1 evade, and gains hunter. So it goes over here. getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Ah. And then Roland's card is going to be an Oozling. So spawn at any empty ooze field location. There, that's better. Now you know who I am. Astari. Haha! Hey, Astari, how's it going? Welcome. Happy to have you here. Are you John? Ah. Okay, so let's throw this up at the sewer. No, let's go over here to the quarantine zone over there. Okay. So our turns. Two, four, six, seven. I have a lot of cards. You're John, yes. Don't tell Sar. I won't. No. Sar, no. Okay. What are we doing with our lives, y'all? So I need to find the heart, apparently. Let's actually throw him here. Then Roland will go chill with that Oozling. Yep, so we're going to move up to this location. The Oozling will engage. Let's use Roland's 38 special. We're going to be attacking for 8 to 2. Cultist Head. If this token is revealed during an attack against an enemy, that enemy gains retaliate for this attack. Okay, so gains retaliate, which is fine because it takes 2 damage. Let's go ahead and just exhaust B-Cop, deal another damage to kill the Oozling. Takes the Blob down by 1. I get a clue. And then we're going to spend 2 resources to play Working a Hunch. Discover 1 clue at your location. So that was 1 attack. Fast. So I got 1 more, I guess. I could test book 3 and move a couple locations. I guess like there's no reason for me not to do that. Where would I want to go? I'm just gonna come up. I'm just gonna come up here to the. I'm gonna test book. I'm gonna test book 3. Okay, so book 3. Or book 1, I'm testing at 3. I want to perception this? No, probably not. -2. Okay, so nothing happens. That's fine. Okay, so Winfred's turn. Let's do 3 resources to play lockpicks. Comes in with 3 supplies. So I could no. I'm gonna go 2, 3 down to this quarantine zone. After a manifold enemy enters Oozy Lake Bed, place 1 clue on Oozy Lake Bed. That enemy cannot take damage this round. Okay. Alrighty. So this oozling is going to hunt over to this location, and then we will gain resources, draw cards, all of that good stuff. Another manual dexterity. What did roll and get? Self-destructive. So 2 actions to get rid of self-destructive. Whenever you deal 1 or more damage to an enemy, take 1 damage. So we do want to get rid of that very, very quickly. Okay. That's fine. We have to add 1 here, which we need to probably get rid of that soon. And then at the end of the round, we advance. You may have managed to finally... Oh, no. Back here. Okay. Mere minutes after its exposure, the pulsating heart retreats back inside the creature's vast body. You have to wait for it to re-emerge in order to harm it once more. Remove all damage from vulnerable heart and set it aside out of play. The amount of damage that removed from vulnerable heart in this way is X. Okay. Did I set vulnerable heart aside out of play? Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. You may have managed to finally harm the creature directly, but in doing so, you've caused it to split even further. Each ooze enemy gains Retaliate and loses the Blob X keyword. At the end of the round, you must advance. The scenario will not end when this advances. Okay. Top of the round, we're going to place 1 here and advance. From the center of the crater, a ley line of glowing ooze worms its way underground. Cracks appear in the ground throughout the town, like tendrils reaching out to stake their claim on Blackwater. It is as though the creature is rooting itself into the earth as it grows. Will the world truly ever be rid of it? Choose 2 ooze-filled location other than the crater without a copy of Vulnerable Heart. Subject 8L08 devours both of these locations along with any non-ooze cards at the location. Let's go here and here. Okay, this is pretty cool. Shuffle 1 set-aside copy of Cubic Ooze and 1 set-aside copy of Grasping Ooze into the encounter deck, along with the encounter discard pile. All the oozes. So it said 1 copy of Cubic Ooze and Grasping Ooze. All those get shuffled back in. Also, sorry, we're playing Aeon's End after this, but then after that, we're playing Lord of the Rings, but we're doing the Hunt for the Dreadnought campaign or scenario. So I'm pumped about that. The anomaly swells. The creature from inside the meteorite continues to digest Blackwater as a whole. By day 2, nearly all of the town is covered in vibrant green slime. As it slowly eats away at the buildings, the streets, and even the dirt, will it ever cease? Each location is connected to each other location orthogonally. Okay. So I need to I assume at some point we'll figure out how to get this heart thing. But until then, let's go 2 actions over here. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. We have to do cards. Winfred's card. Test feat 4. If you fail, choose an ally or item asset you control, and it devours that asset. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. Okay, so test feat 4. Let's go Let's commit manual dexterity and quick getaway. So I'm testing 10 to 4. Dreadnought. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I built the deck and I was just like, this is really cool. And we've got a skull. -1 for every 5 cards, so it's still 0. Okay? And then I succeeded by 2 or more, so draw 2 cards, and then 2 different non-weaknesses, I get to draw 2 cards. Okay. So I got Arrogance. You must commit Arrogance to each eligible skill check you perform. The skill icon subtracts from your skill value instead of adding to it. If this check succeeds, return this skill to your hand. Oh, so I have to fail something. That's funny. Also, the art is really, really cool. It's like the tentacles coming out and grabbing the plane. Alrighty, and then Roland's card, Cubic Ooze. Revelation, immediately attempt to evade Cubic Ooze without spending an action. If you fail, spawn Cubic Ooze engaged with you, and it attacks you. If you succeed, spawn Cubic Ooze at your location, exhausted and unengaged. Ugh, okay. Okay, so it's a 4. I could go 4 to 4. I'm just going to assume that I'm going to fail it. So we've got 2 to 4, -4. So it immediately engages and attacks. So we're going to take 2 health. Ooh, self-destructive is going to be rough here, yo. Oh no. Okay. I don't quite know what to do about that. Okay, we'll figure. So it has 4 health, so we could Vicious Blow this thing with a Roland's 38 special, and it would do 4 damage, which would kill it, and then I would take a damage. But I think I have to do that. So let's go ahead and spend the last ammo here. So I'm attacking 8. Yeah, 8 to 1. I'm going to commit Vicious Blow. So 10 to 1. -2, so we succeed, and we succeed by 2 or more, so it deals 4 damage. So this goes here, Blob 2, and then I take a damage. Then I'm going to spend 2 actions to discard self-destructive. Don't love it, but it's what I got. Winfred over here. Okay, we're going to move up to the research site. Oozling engages us. We're going to play Backstab. We're going to exhaust Chuck. It's going to cost 2 less, so it's going to cost 1. That's 1. Backstab. We're testing 5 to 2, which is probably fine. Ooh, actually, you know what? I making. Oh, I have to do Arrogance. I have to do Arrogance. So I'm 4 to 2. I'm thinking about doing +2. So I'm 6 to 2. I'm 6 to 2. Let's see what we got. If we are able to, let's see. 6 to 2 -1, so we're good. So that deals +2 damage. So that kills the Oozling. Blob goes down 1. I have 1 action left, which I will spend one of these tokens to get rid of this card. Okay. So we will unexhaust, or I guess no enemies in play. Arrogance comes back. No enemies in play, so unexhaust. Draw a card. Calculated risk. Get a money. Get a money. Draw a card. Overpower. Nice. Okay. At the end of the round, you must advance. This is the first time the act has advanced. Read the following. Throughout your struggles, an alien presence has watched over your progress with curiosity. Now they descend from orbit in order to hatch their plot. Shuffle each of the set aside Migo drone enemies into the encounter deck, along with the encounter discard pile. Migo drone enemies. Okay. Regardless of how many times this act is advanced, read the following. As the hours pass, the ooze seeps back into the ground and lies dormant once more. Place one investigator clue on each ooze field location to the maximum of its clue value. The lead investigator chooses a random set-aside story card and draws it, resolving the side with part 1 trait. Reset the act to 1A. This is a cool scenario. I'm really enjoying this. This is pretty fun. Okay, so we will reroll a 5 or a 6. Wait. Part 1. Okay. Reports from the survivors throughout the town tell of another force of creatures descending from above and collecting globs of ooze from all over Blackwater. What are the other alien creatures and what is their goal? Spawn the set-aside Migo General and the Fungus Mound. Place one investigator... Oh, I need to do clues real quick. Okay, so... This gets 2. This gets 2. This gets 2. That goes there. Yeah, I've run out of clues so quickly now. This gets 2. And this needs to get 2. Cool. Okay, sweet. Okay, spawn the set-aside Migo General. Or if they're at the Fungus Mound. Alrighty. Place one investigator clues on the Fungus Mound. Put this card into play next to the Act deck. Okay. This money are going to be clues. So I don't have anything else to do for it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. If Migo General is defeated, or if there are no clues on the Fungus Mound, remember that Migo were driven off. Flip this card over. If there are 4 more clues on the Fungus Mound, remember that the secret of the ooze was stolen. Flip this card over. This says Hunter. After Migo attacks you, move one of your clues to the Fungus Mound. And it has 8 health. Ew, and it's a 5. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Gross. I really don't like that. Okay, so that was the end of the round. So at the top of the round, we'll place 1 here. And we're back to being able to spin the clues to advance. But I need to figure out how to get to the heart. Or else advancing is not going to help at all. Winfred's is... Oh my gosh, it's got me again. And then Roland is Reality Acid. Subject discovers a random aspect of reality. So just do the 2 tokens and see what happens. Got -2 and a skull. This is really fun. -2 and a skull. The top 3 cards of your deck. Yikes. So it got evidence, flashlight, and dodge. That's not horrible. Okay. I think I just need to... I don't know. I'm actually not 100% sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. If Migo General is defeated, or if there's no clues on the fungus mound, flip this card over. Okay, so I think we probably have to figure that out. Okay. I do have a... I have a shotgun. I'm wondering... Okay, so I'm actually wondering if... Yeah, so I think I dropped shotgun, gain a resource, and then I dodge his attack. And then I shotgun and just try and kill him. Next turn. Okay, so I'm going to gain a resource. I'm going to spend 5 resources to get a shotgun. That comes with 2 ammo. And gain a resource, play the shotgun. We'll gain a resource. Okay. Then we're gonna use Winfred to... I don't know what just happened, sorry. We're gonna use Winfred to go try and figure out how to find the heart. So I guess we'll go here to this quarantine zone. If there are no clues on Water Tower, test Book 3 to find the structure's weakness. If you succeed, deal 3 damage to each ooze enemy at the Water Tower and each connecting location, max 1 per game. So this is 2 clues. Okay. Sorry, something's going on with my music. I need to jam. Okay. Trying to figure out if there's anything. After you succeed by a skill test 2 or more, draw a card. Probably. Yeah, let's spend 2 to drop a lucky cigarette case. And then we'll move up to temporary HQ. Okay. So monster turn. The general is going to come engage me. I'm going to spend a dodge. So it will not attack. It cancels the attack. And then we will go into refresh. So unexhaust. Draw cards. Quick thinking. This skill test is successful by 2 or more after it results. You may immediately take an action as if it were your turn. This action does not count towards your number of actions you took. What I should have done, now that I'm thinking about it, I should have probably investigated here, just assuming that I would have missed. And then I could have gotten rid of my arrogance. That would have been smart. Oh well. I need a resource. I need a resource over here. And Roland has got a guts. Okay. Top of the round, we're going to place one here. We're not going to spin the clues because there's no reason for me to do that. Winfred's is a grasping ooze. Spawn nearest ooze field location. Hunter, after you perform a melee attack, so we'll just drop this guy here. Roland's card, Sticky Feet. Attached to the nearest ooze field location. As an additional cost to enter or leave the attached location, investigator must spin in action. So that's where I'm at. Which is annoying. We can spin a countermeasure to get rid of it. But we need to... It's the one connected to the fungus mound. I assume that we need to use that at some point. So, okay. Let's go ahead and attack here. Okay, so we're going to spin an ammo. +3 for the attack. Instead of standard damage, this attack deals 1 damage for each point you succeed by. So I'm attacking for 8 to 5. And we're going to use an overpower to go 10 to 5. Let's go 10 to 5. Let's see what happens there. 10 to 5. Let's see. -2, so 8, so 3 damage. I get to draw a card. Choose and discard all but 1 card from your hand. Oof. Maybe shotgun? Maybe unexpected courage. I'm going to keep unexpected courage. Let's attack again. Spend an ammo. Commit unexpected courage. So we're doing this again. So 8, 10 to 5. Oh, yes. The shotgun is in play. Yes, it is. 0. Okay, so 5 damage, which kills it. Sweet. Sweet. Okay. That was a big pull for 0. Okay. If Migo General is defeated, the Migo were driven off, flip this card over. Read only if the secret of the ooze was stolen. Read only if the Migo were driven off. So, chittering unnaturally, the alien general flees. Its strange weapon unhinges from its arm and clatters to the ground in front of you as it flies into space. Put the set-aside Migo weapon story asset into play under any investigator's control. Add Migo general in this card to the victory display. Search the encounter deck, discard pile, and play areas for each copy of Migo Go drone and remove them from the game. Gain 1 countermeasure. Yeah, that'll do. So we have to go find the drones that we just shuffled back in. I think, I don't remember how many there were. Okay, maybe 3. Okay. Well, the shotgun did work, and we get that story asset. So we get some sick weapon. So I'm excited about that. Makes me feel better about throwing away my shotgun. Migo weapon. Uses 3 ammo, spin 1 ammo, fight. This device fires a blast of entropic energy. You get +2 and deals 1 damage for this, +1 damage for this stack. If you succeed and the enemy is not defeated, move it 1 location away from you. If you succeed by 3 or more, deal +1 damage and move the enemy an additional location away. Sweet. So we'll discard shotgun and throw this down. Alrighty. Yeah, I'll take that. Take that any day of the week. I also get a clue. Is my reaction here. And that was 2 actions. So I'm going to spend a countermeasure to get rid of Sticky Feet. I'm happy with that. I don't know how to find this heart thing. I'm a little concerned I'm just completely missing something. Congrats on 2K, Nelson. Hey, Devin, how's it going? Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how to do this heart thing. We're just going to go 1, 2. We are going to commit arrogance, and we're going to try and investigate this guy. So we are going 2 to 3. -3, so we fail, and arrogance gets discarded. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Okay. This is the last location. I'm hoping that. Okay. I was just like the location, the blind location that I discarded. I wanted to make sure that I didn't that I didn't like get rid of my way to win the game. The shotgun was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Okay, so grasping is going to hunt. We're going to draw a card, which is scout ahead. Move up to 3 times. Enemies do not engage you this movement. And a money. Roland will get a money. And Roland will draw 1 card. Working a hunch. Discover 1 clue at your location. This grasping ooze is kind of annoying. I want to get rid of that. I am not 100% sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I guess like that this turn I'm going to go up to the quarantine zone. So let's I guess do that. Let's go here. Winfred's card is Caustic Dissemination. Oofed. Put Caustic Dissemination into play next to the agenda deck. At the end of the round, each investigator at an ooze field location takes 1 damage and 1 horror, and it devours each card defeated by this effect. Roland's card, Alien Food Chain. If there are no manifold enemies in play, it gains Surge. Otherwise, attached to a manifold enemy with the least remaining health, it gets +1 fight, +1 evade, and gains Hunter. Okay. Okay, so Winfred is going to go up to this quarantine zone. While you're at desiccated farmland, you cannot gain resources. After you end your turn at the farmland, lose 1 resource. Okay, so I am now assuming I'm missing something. Huh. Does anyone in chat know if I'm missing something or what I'm doing? Maybe once the agenda progresses? That was 1. We'll go 2. Just trying to figure out if there's. I'm not familiar with Arkham. Yeah. Usually there's like a direction to go. Oh, maybe it's the second time you progress. Maybe that's when it comes out. I wonder if that's it. I'm just gonna read. Oh, I was supposed to spawn it last time. I was supposed to spawn it last time. That was my bad. Okay, because this is regardless of how many times this act have been advanced. We spawned the set aside vulnerable hard at enemy at the chosen location. Okay, so that's on me. That's on me. That's on me. I missed reading that, and so that makes a big difference. Okay. So I'll progress next time, I guess. Um, okay, cool. That makes a lot more sense. I'm happy that I figured that out. Okay, cool. Okay, so that means let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. 2 damage to an exhausted enemy. It has 5 health. That's insane. Um, um, let's go 1, 2. Grasping ooze will engage me. Let's try and evade it. So we are going to go. Calculated risk is +3. So I'm evading for 5, 8 to 3. And I'm going to add a quick thinking, 9 to 3. If it's successful by 2 or more, then I get basically a free action. -2, so we're good. So the grasping ooze is now evaded, and I get to immediately take an action as if it were your turn. This action does not count towards the number of actions you can take this turn. And I get to draw a card because I committed to test. So it's emergency cash. After you successfully succeed at a skill test by 2 or more, you can draw a card. Just backstab, and then pickpocketing, I will draw a card. Anything you can do better. Just like all of the wild cards. Fun one. Okay, so I'm getting a free action right now. Let's do backstab. So we're gonna go fight. We use feet instead of fist. This attack deals +2 damage. So going up against 3, we're going to use Chuck here. So it gains 2 fewer resources to play, so it's gonna be 1. And then we get +2. So we're testing 5, 7 to 3. 7 to 3. Have you missed Aeon's End? Just got back from game? No, you have not. We are playing Aeon's End after this game. This mat is from Momo Monster. I got it from Etsy. -3. So we are successful. It deals +2 damage. So it deals 3 damage. That did not count towards my actions, but I did want to evade. That did not count towards my action, so we're good. We're good. Yeah. So that's all I got for Winfred. Okay. Roland, he's got working a hunch. He can go and get some clues. Might as well, right? Let's go 2 to play working a hunch to grab this clue. So that's 1. Oh no, that's 0. That did not count as an action. 2. Three. Or 1, 2. I guess I'll get a card. Vicious Blow. Nice. Okay. So no unexhausted enemies, so we're good. Unexhaust. This will engage me again, but that's fine. Unexhaust. Get a money. Draw a card. Watch this. Nice. It's the gambling one. Then we get to draw a card for Roland, which is a 45 automatic. I like that. And get a money. Place one here. The end of the round, no one takes the damage because no one's at a outfield location. Or oozefield location. I'm going to have to get rid of that soon. Okay. Top of the round, we're going to choose to advance this. After a few hours of investigation, you believe that you have pinpointed the creature's heart due to the way it shifts throughout the surface of its all-encompassing of its all-encompassing body. You know it won't stay at its current location for very long. Then you'll have to track it down. Choose any oozefield location. Spawn the set-aside vulnerable heart enemy at the chosen location. I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's literally right there. Let's go here at the bridge. So X is the amount of damage on Vulnerable Heart. It's massive. Retaliate. Vulnerable Heart cannot be evaded and cannot make attacks of opportunity. Vulnerable Heart cannot have more than 15 damage on it. All excess damage is canceled. And it hits for 2 and 2. Okay. After any amount of damage is placed on Vulnerable Heart, place twice that much damage on subject 8L08. Investigate at your location is attacking Vulnerable Heart, which I spent 2. It gets +2 fight for the attack. The end of the round, you must advance. Alrighty. We'll place 1 here. Winfred's is... There are no manifold enemies in play. It gains Surge. Attached enemy gets +1 fight and +1 evade and gains Hunter. Oh, and it heals everything. Uh-oh. That's not good. Then Roland's card is going to be Test Brain 4. For each point you fail, subject 8L08 devours either one of your resources at random, or one of your resources or a random card from your hand. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, well, we'll test 3 to 4. Come on, give me a +1. I haven't drawn a +1 this entire game. I could use a +1 right now. What do we got? Oh, auto fail, so it's 4. So it takes everything. No! Oh, that's really bad. The Vicious Blow was going to be huge. The 45 automatic was going to be nice. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay. Well, that happened. This got really difficult to kill. I don't think I like that. I'm thinking we have Roland hop over here to Vulnerable Heart. And deal some damage, I guess? Yeah, so let's go here. It's massive, so it's engaged with everything. Wondering if it was worth. Is it worth it for me to draw a card first? Should I draw a card? Hope. No, it's not going to be. We already lost all of our vicious blows. So I don't really think. It's going to be 0. Okay, yeah, let's just go over here. Let's use a Migo weapon. We're gonna fight. We're attacking for 7. Deals +1 damage if you exceed. The enemy is not defeated. Move 1 location. If you exceed by 3 or more, deal +1 damage. So we're going 7 to 0. Auto fail. Are you kidding me? No. 2 in a row. Okay, let's. It has retaliate. Oh, it has retaliate too. So, this is gonna hit me. No, it's gonna hit me for 1, and we'll place 1 and kill Beat Cop. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, well, we have to do it again. We're gonna go 6 to X, 0. Okay, so it deals 3 damage. So Blob takes 6 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vulnerable Heart moves. We're gonna move it up to the sewer. I have one more action. I'm thinking. Oh wait, hold on. I could have spent a clue. I get +2 for the attack. Okay, well. Oh, and this has 6 damage on it. No, this has 3 damage on it. We'll go hang over at the research site. Okay, I'm not quite sure what to do about this thing now. I think I want to evade it. I can deal 2 damage to it. I don't know how to deal. I guess the Migo can come over here and deal some more damage to it. Because sneak attack can deal 2. Okay, let's try it. Okay, we're gonna evade. It's at a 5. I'm at a 5. Let's use. Manual dexterity. So I'm at an 8. And we'll go +6. That feels bad. Instead of this, maybe I do watch this. So I go 9 to 5. If I succeed by 1 more, I'll spend a resource. If I succeed by one more, then I get 2 resources. Okay. So 9 to 5. Come on. No whammies. Tablet. Okay, so -3, so we do succeed, and then these get devoured. So I get 2 resources, so that's nice. This guy is exhausted. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 to 5. -3 was 6 to 5. So I get to draw 1 card, which is Unexpected Courage. I committed 2, so I get to draw a card, which is a Watch This. Nope. Pickpocketing does trigger, so 1 card. It's crazy how many cards you can draw. Like that. This is a lot more than I was expecting, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's do Chuck to play Sneak Attack. It's going to be fast and 2 fewer resources, so it's going to be dealing 2 damage here. And I still have 2 actions. I could go over and attack the Vulnerable Heart. I have like a pretty good shot at actually dealing damage, which would deal 2 damage to the Blob. Or I could come down to the research site. So I can get rid of It's Got Me. I'm going to do that. So we'll come down here to research site. Okay. So doesn't do anything. So we will refresh. Place 1 here. We get some money, or everyone gets some money. Roland gets an emergency cash. Winfred gets some money and a Chuck. It's 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're good on our hand size there. So that's good. We progress. If X is at least 1, shuffle the encounter deck, discard pile into the encounter deck, and discard cards from the top until a manifold enemy with a total of at least X health has been discarded. 1 at a time in different random order. Spawn each of those enemies at a different oozefield location. Ugh. This is a long scenario. I don't think I realized how long this scenario was going to be. Because we've been playing this for a good... I mean, like, we're not even close. Right? We've done 31 out of... Or we've done 14 out of... That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. Okay. So X is 3, so manifold. Okay, so go here. Throw that up there. Okay. Each oozed enemy gains retaliate and loses the Blob X keyword. At the end of the round, you must advance. I don't think I was supposed to get rid of it, right? That's 1. Right there. Right in front of me. Remove all damage from vulnerable heart and set it aside out of play. Alrighty. Top of the round, we're going to place one here. Winfred devours a random aspect of reality. I love this. This is so much fun. So we get to reveal 2 of these, and based on the booklet, it will devour something. Ooh, it's a star. It is in there. So that's good to know. -1 star. One horror and 1 damage from your investigator card. So I think I heal it? Yeah, because you're supposed to add damage. And so Winfred actually hasn't taken any. So that was a little bit of a bust. Then Roland is replication. Find the manifold enemy with the most damage on it. Oh my gosh. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until another manifold enemy with equal or lower printed health is discarded. Spawn that enemy at the same location, then distribute the damage that is on both enemies so that the remaining health on both enemies is as equal as possible. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is getting out of hand. This is really tough to kill. It keeps healing. Okay. Manifold enemy with the most damage on it. So 2. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until another manifold enemy is discarded. And the equal or lower printed health is discarded. Yep. Distribute the damage as equally as possible. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to kill that thing. I don't know. We may just ignore it for the rest of the game. I don't know what to do about it. Okay. I'm going to spend 2 clues here to get a thing. Emergency cash for 3 resources. I'll draw a card. Extra ammunition. Place 3 ammo tokens on a firearm asset controlled by an investigator at your location. Alrighty. It's been a rough LCG. Yeah, it has. We'll make a call when this one's over to see if we want to do Aeon's End or if we want to do the Lord of the Rings. Because I don't know if we're going to have time for both of them. We may. I don't know. We may. Let's just keep playing and see what happens. Okay. So. Oh, yeah. So Roland did everything that he needed to do. So Winfred is going to do something, I guess. She's going to spend one of these to get rid of this card. She will play Emergency Cash for 3. She'll spend 3 for another copy of Lockpicks. Mainly so she can discard something if she needs to. Alright. So enemy phase, this thing is going to hunt. I'll have it hunt down here. That thing doesn't do anything. That thing doesn't do anything. Okay. Unexhaust everything. Boop, boop. Get a money. Draw a card. Another extra ammunition. Sweet. Winfred gets a money and draws a card. Slip away. Add your book to the skill value If you succeed by 2 or more and the evaded enemy is non-elite, it does not ready during the next upkeep phase. That's kind of nice. Alrighty. So we place 1, and this progresses. Actually, it may not be that long because this could end it. As the anomaly spreads throughout the town, the cracks in the earth become more prominent. In the middle of the night, a terrible sound like a growling stomach rumbles beneath the ground. We're gonna start using money as clues. Oh, up to its clue value. Okay, so these weren't ever supposed to have any, and this is still at 2. Alrighty. The blob comes for all. It does. it's coming for me. And then we choose a random story card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When the anomaly emerged, the first thing the researchers did was to try and find a way to dissolve the ooze composing its body. One of the chemists was on the verge of a breakthrough, but she recently disappeared. She was last seen attempting to collect samples in a dangerous section of the quarantine zone. If you can reach her, perhaps you can see her. Assist her. Spawn the set-aside Migo abductor at the fungus mound. Put the set-aside University Chemist asset into play at the location furthest from all investigators. So up here, unfortunately. I guess this is also, so we're gonna go there. Put this card, after an investigator controls University Chemist, enters the temporary HQ. Remember that the chemist was saved. Flip this card over. If University Chemist is defeated or devoured, remember that the formula is not complete. Okay. So the chemist says parlay, test brain, or book 3. If you succeed, place 1 resource on University Chemist. Then if there are at least 2 resources on it, take control of it. Okay. The abductor, while Migo abductor is ready, it gains at the start of the enemy phase. If Migo abductor is at the University Chemist location, deal 1 direct damage to the University Chemist. Otherwise, move the Migo abductor once towards the University Chemist location. Then we reset this. Oh, this. Now this progresses. Choose 2 ooze field location other than the crater without a copy of Vulnerable Heart. Subject 8L08 devours both these locations along with all non-ooze cards at these locations. Ooze enemies are instead discarded. Shuffle both set aside copies of Ooze Wraith into the encounter deck along with the encounter card discard pile. Okay, so we're going to go here and here. This is a really long scenario. That's crazy. It's really cool. It's really cool. I need more damage. Okay. By the third day, the anomaly threatens to overtake the quarantine zone. The acid within its body can devour not just creatures, objects, and buildings, it's also capable of consuming thoughts, concepts, emotions, or other aspects of reality. You realize now that the creature threatens not just the lives of all humanity, but the fabric of existence itself. Winfred's card. Test Brain 3, take 1 horror for each punch you fail by, and it devours each card defeated by this effect. So Brain 3, we got a Brain 1. I think we're just gonna take the horror. We've got a Skull. -1 for a lot, so we're gonna take 3 horror. Put 1 on Chuck. Okay. Roland's card. Same thing. Brain 3. We're gonna commit a unexpected courage from Winfred. So Brain 5, testing 3. -3, so we take 1 horror. I need to get up here and spend that to save some horror. Alrighty. What is Winfred doing? I think Winfred is going to go hang out with the university chemist up there. Yeah, so let's use... Now let's play Scout Ahead. We're going to exhaust Chuck and say that it gains fast and costs 2 less. Move up to 3 locations. 1, 2, 3. We still got 3 actions. So we can parlay by testing book 3. Let's go ahead and do that. And sweet. Let's use this. Streetwise, we're going to spend 2 resources. We get +3, so we're 6 to 3. 6 to 3. Let's go. Come on. -3. After the skill test ends, it devours each card that was committed, so we're good. So we do succeed. So we place a clue token. Then we got 1 more. I think we're going to do the same thing. So 6 to 3. -1. Sweet. So 5. We succeed by 2 or more, so we can draw a card, which is Sneak By. This is a long runner scenario if I ever saw one. Then again, these massive multiplayer scenarios have weird scaling for solo 2-handed playthroughs. I was wondering, yeah, because it feels like... Yeah, I don't know. We got the university chemist. Yeah, this is long. Oh well, that's fine. So that was 2. Um, yeah, it is really, really cool. It's really interesting. I'm trying to figure out, I need to get this university chemist back to the research site. And Roland needs to get up here and heal 3 horror. But he can't do that this turn because this grasping ooze is going to come kill him. So I think Winfred is just going to move here for a 3rd action. Okay, so Roland is going to... Roland's gonna go 1, 2. And play an extra ammunition for 2 to give weapon 2 more. 3 ammo. Okay, cool. Even better. Okay. That thing doesn't hunt, but this does give me a damage though. Okay, so enemy is gonna hunt here. Hunter's gonna hunt. Oh shoot, no. I'm gonna go down here. No, I'm gonna go up here. 1, 2, and then play. Because this guy I don't want to come over here. Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah. So he hunted. This is at the start of the enemy phase, so he's going to hunt over here. Then we've got Unexhaust. Draw a card, Unexpected Courage, and a money. Roland's going to draw a card into Magnifying Glass and get a money. At the end of the round, I don't think anything happens at the end of the round right now. Okay, so we'll place 1 here. Winfred's card is find the manifold enemy with the most damage on it. Oh my gosh. We're going to choose this one. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until another manifold enemy with equal or lower printed health is discarded. Spawn that enemy at the same location, then distribute. I don't know if you can see this. Where are my manifold enemies? Nope. Because we're looking for a 3 or lower. There it is. Okay. And then that's hanging out. Roland's card. It's got me. Roland is not having a good day. Roland's having some rough goes of it. Okay. Winfred is gonna go 1, 2. Temporary. Oh wait. Oh shoot. That's the temporary HQ. Not good. Oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. We're gonna have this guy have hunted over here. I'm okay. We're gonna just retcon that a little bit. Those oozlings. And then we will have also chosen this enemy. Because there weren't any. Oh, it would have been a cubic ooze. Okay, so the oozling is still in here. The cubic ooze is still in here. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that I'm rewinding just a little bit because it makes a big difference. Okay. 1, 2. This advances. The chemist was saved. The chemist thanks you for aiding her and hands you the concoction her team has been working on. Put the set aside Universal Solvent story asset into play under any investigator's control. Remove University Chemist from the game. Add Migo Abductor and this card to the victory display. Deal 3 damage to each ooze enemy in play. Oh, big. Big if true. Big if true. Okay, I'm okay. So this oozling dies. This has 1 life left, and this has 1 life left. Well, that was big. Okay, so story assets are good. We get the Universal Solvent. Test book 1. If you succeed, discard an obstacle treachery at your location. Spend 1 supply. Choose a non-elite enemy at your location. Test book X, where X is one more than an enemy's remaining health. If you succeed, that enemy is defeated. Does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Alrighty. We're gonna give this to Roland. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's really fun. Alrighty. Alrighty. Winfred's got one action left. I honestly thought that she was gonna be evading, so let's figure out and see what she's doing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. She'll play emergency cash for 3 money. Why not, right? Okay. Roland is gonna go 1-2. Spend this to heal 3 horror. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, we're getting there. We're feeling a little bit better about our lives. We'll spend 1 for a magnifying glass because it's fast. Okay, so I need more clues. Okay, so Cubic Ooze is going to hunt to... I guess the water tower? Our Grasping Ooze is going to hunt over to the water tower. Sweet. Okay. Unexhaust, draw a card, slip away. We got 2, 4, 6, 7, so we're good there. And then Winfred's at 1,000,000 money. Roland gets a money and a card, which is Unexpected Courage. Okay. Alrighty. Let's place 1 here. I'm excited to play this one again because I would play it a little bit differently. I would go a little bit quicker, just because these story assets are really, really solid and really good. So, okay. We place 1. Winfred is Cubic Ooze. Immediately attempt to evade Cubic Ooze without spending an action. If you fail, spawn it engage with you and it attacks you. If you succeed, spawn Cubic Ooze at your location. So we are attempting to evade. It's a 4. We've got a 5. We're gonna go sneak by an Unexpected Courage. So we've got 9 to 4. We do get to draw a card, which is gonna be Pilfer. Tablet -3. Devours each card committed to the test. Okay, so it devours these 2 cards. -3. I do succeed. I was at 9. -3 is 6, so I succeed by 2 or more. And pickpocketing also triggers. So I get to draw 2 cards, which decks me out, which means I will take 1 horror. Draw the top card of the encounter deck, and that card gains Surge. Then this gets shuffled. And then this is exhausted and doesn't ready. We've got Oozling, spawned at an empty ooze field, and this gains Surge to Reality Asset. It devours a random thing. I love this. Is one of the coolest Arkham cards I've ever seen. Just like the where you draw 2 tokens and it does a random. So -2 and 0. And self, and then regurgitates itself. Deal 1 damage to subject. Okay, sweet. You get to deal 1 damage. I love how it's not always a bad effect too. I think that's really fun. Okay. Roland's card is an Oozling. go up there. There's a lot of oozlings around now. Okay. Let's have Roland go first, because Roland can kill this thing. So Roland is going to come down. This thing is going to engage. Oh, and I need, I think, only one token here. So I will use a weapon. So I'm doing 6 to 5. We're going to unexpected courage. 8 to 5. -1. We got it. Grasping Ooze dies. Thank goodness. Whew. Okay. That thing has been around for too long. And we get to discover a clue. So that was 2. Yeah, okay. And that had Blob 3. It had Blob 3. So 1, 2, 3, down to 27. I'm gonna draw a card. 45 automatic. Okay. Winfred, what are we doing over here? What's our goal, I guess? We can go get some clues. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's go 1. We're gonna go pilfer. We're going to spend we're gonna exhaust Chuck. We're gonna spend 2 and say it's fast. So we use feet instead of book. So we're testing 5. Yeah, why not? So 5. We're gonna go watch this for 6. And then slip away for 7. We get to draw a card. So 7 to 1. -4, so we are successful. And we spent 1 resource over here. So we get 2. We get 1. Also, she's gone. And we get to discover 2 additional clues. So there's 3. And that was fast. Let's go ahead and use our second action to lockpicks. Okay, so we are searching 8 to 1. -3, so we're good. We don't have to remove a token. We get this last clue. In our last action, we're going to go back over to the temporary HQ. Alrighty. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so doesn't do anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't do anything. Now we will unexhaust. This one does not unexhaust. Oh, no, it does unexhaust. Never mind. That was a different card. Okay. So undo, undo, undo. Get some money. Draw a card. Got Scout Ahead. And we've got Dynamite Blast. Let's go. Oh, that's going to be really nice for the heart. Oh, that would be really good for the heart. Because we can hit the heart, push it away, and then Dynamite Blast over. That's cool. I like that. We can push it over here. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. We're going to place 1 here. Top of the round, we're going to add Actually, at the top of the round, we're gonna spend 2 to advance. It's 2 per investigator. I don't think I've been doing that. Oh well. We'll just spend them all and call it a day. Oh well. Okay. Choose any ooze field location. Set the satisfied vulnerable heart at the chosen location. Okay. Now we're gonna place one up here. Draw a card for a Winfield. Test feat 3. Take 1 damage for each point you fail by. We're just gonna go 5 to 3. Call it a day. 0, so we're good. Roland has got Reality Acid, so 2 tokens, and it's gonna devour something. We'll see what it is. Skull -3. That's probably not a good one. Your curiosity. Until the end of the Mythos phase, set your base book to 0. That's fine. Okay. This is such a cool scenario. Alrighty. Let's go Roland first. We're going to attack the vulnerable heart. I'm going to use the Migo weapon. So we get +2. So we're attacking 6 to 0. And we've got a -4, so we are good. We succeed by 2 or more. So it deals +2 damage. So this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down to 21. And then we get to push the heart over here. We're going to spend 5 resources to play Dynamite Blast. Deal 3 damage to each enemy. So this Cubic Ooze dies. So Blob 2, 1, 2. And 3 damage here. So 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down to 13. So that was 2. We'll move up here. That was really fun. By the way, I commend you for doing an 8-hour stream, except for sleeping. I can't do 8 hours of anything. Thank you. Yeah. Caffeine helps. Okay. Okay. So Winfred, 2, 4, 6. Immediately attempt to. Okay. So this ooze. What are we doing with this ooze? Okay, let's go ahead and go Slip Away. This is a trick, so we will exhaust Chuck. I love this build, by the way. I think that this is one of the more fun builds I've played, just like the Chuck build. So we're going to go 2 fewer resources and fast. So we are evading at a 8 to 4. And let's go ahead and do Scout Ahead and Unexpected Courage. So we get to draw a card to Emergency Cash. So we're evading for 12 to 4. It's just fun. It's just a fun way to play. -1, so we're good. So we get to go Cigarette Case and Pickpocketing to draw 2 cards. And this is exhausted and does not ready until the next upkeep phase. 2 cards. emergency cash, and arrogance. No, arrogance is back. That's fine. Okay, so I still have 3 actions. Um, I need clues. Let's go ahead and spend 1 resource to play Scout Ahead. 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 action. Let's go ahead and lockpicks. Try and get this. So exhaust lockpicks. Investigate. We add our feat, so we're investigating 8 to 3. And we have to commit arrogance. So 7 to 3. -2, so we are still good. Arrogance comes back to our hand, and we get a clue. And let's do it again. So again, 7 to 3. Oh, sweet. This gets devoured. Well, that worked out well. It was -3, 7 to 3, so we're good. We still get the clue. That worked out really well, actually. I'm happy with that. Okay, so I need 2 other clues. Okay, so that's everybody. So we will unexhaust, 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 unexhaust. And what I've decided to do for the stream, just because I don't mind going over 8 hours. I'm not hard stopping at 8. I am worried about my mental fatigue at some point. So what we're gonna do is after this, we're gonna go into Lord of the Rings, and then if we have time, if I'm feeling okay, we'll do Aeon's End after that. So we're gonna swap those 2, just so I do want to get the Lord of the Rings in, and I want to make sure that I am alive for that. Okay, cool. So unexhaust everything, gain resources. Draw a card. Guts. Calculated risk. That doesn't unexhaust. And we will... yeah, we may actually lose this pretty soon. We're close. We're 13. We'll see. Okay. This progresses. Each oozed enemy gains retaliate and loses the blob keyword. At the end of the round, you must advance. Okay. Top of the round, we're going to place this here. Winfred's card is Grasping Ooze. Spawn nearest ooze field location, which is right where she's at. And then Roland's is Oozling. Spawn at any empty ooze field location. So that's going to be the sewer. This just decked out. Alrighty. Also, Roland's dying. Okay, let's trying to figure out what I want to do. Hmm. I think I'm going to try and evade over here. We're going to go calculated risk, I guess. It's only 3. So actually, let's spend 2. We're going to evade with +3, so it's going to be 8 to 3. 8 to 3. And we've got a auto fail. Bummer. Okay. Let's go both here. Get the draw card. Vulnerable heart's gone. Okay, so we're committing 7. Or +7. So a lot. -4. So this is actually 6, 7, 8. -4 is +4, so 9. So we're way over. So this is exhausted here. We went over 2 and we successfully evaded. So 2 cards. Backstab and backstab. Okay. This is getting pretty close, right? So, hey, sorry, pace yourself. Don't pass out before you can drop the ring into Mount Doom. Gollum would say, poor exhausted hobbitses. Oh wait, what if you had an 8-hour nap, a la Matty K with the one, or a la Matt K with the 1 ring on the whole time, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. So that was 2. I need clues. I need 2 clues. How do I get the clues? How do I get my clues? Okay, so what I'm looking at is I've got 4 turns left to deal 13 damage to the blob. I don't want to kill anything this turn because it doesn't deal damage. And so if I can get 2 clues, I can get the vulnerable heart, and then like 2 backstabs on the vulnerable heart is gonna deal 12 damage. And then if we can kill a blob, then we're good. So okay. This is getting interesting. Where are my clues? That's what I want to know. Is this a manifold? No, it's not. Okay. I was like, could we use? No, we can't. We can't do that. Best better clues up here. We're gonna go over here. I think I can get this clue. And if I kill the oozling with Roland, I get a clue. I can get this next turn. We should be fine. Okay. So that was my third. So now Roland is gonna go 1, 2. Oozling is going to engage. We're gonna. Are we gonna attack? I don't think we attack. I think we do something before that. We take a damage, which is not the end of the world. We're gonna draw a card before we move up there, which is a beat cop. Okay. So now enemies do their thing. We take a damage here. Roland may not survive this, and that may be fine. We're gonna unexhaust everything. Draw a card. Cover up. Put cover up into play in your threat area with 3 clues on it. When you would discover one or more clues on your location, discard that many clues for cover up instead. The game ends if there are any clues on cover up. You suffer 1 mental trauma. Ah. Oh, that's a reaction. It's not forced. So as the standalone campaign, I don't care if I suffer the trauma. Poor Roland, but too bad. Okay. Need a money. Okay. Then Winfred is gonna get a manual dexterity. Sweet. This progresses. Oh yeah, and we get a story. So okay, yeah, we get 2 here, 1 here. That's 2 there. Okay. We're getting there. We are getting there. This guy gets 1. I draw a card here, which is overpower. We got 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. Place 1 here. Oh wait, actually, I'm sorry. I needed to do this. Random set aside story. Top one is even, the bottom one is odds. You are approached by a military officer who informs you of the military's plan to destroy the anomaly using explosives. I tried to tell them why it won't work, but the general was too stubborn to listen, he explains. The explosives are on a timed fuse. If they detonate, you will only split the creature further and make it even harder to destroy. Orders be damned, we have to stop them. Set aside Migo Meddler at the Fungus Mound. Put this card... Okay, let's just go ahead and get that. The start of the enemy phase. If it's at a location with explosive, remove 1 damage from the military's plan. Otherwise, move Migo Meddler once towards a location with explosives. Put the military's plan asset into play next to the act deck. Military asset. Military's plan with 5 tokens on it. Oh wait, 5 damage tokens. Place 1 horror token on 1 per investigator different Oozfield locations furthest from the crater. So here and here. Horror tokens represent explosives. If there are no explosives among locations in play, remember that the explosives were defused, flip this card over. If the military plan has no damage on it, remember that the explosives were detonated, flip this card over. So each location with explosive gains test book or feat 3. If you succeed, remove the horror token from this location. At the end of the round, remove 1 damage from this card. I think we're not going to do that. I think we're just going to like keep what we were planning on and just go that way. Okay. So Winfred, Cubic Ooze. Try to evade Cubic Ooze. We're gonna just go. We'll go manual dexterity. So we're 8 to 4. Plus 1, 9 to 4. So we immediately evade it. And we draw 2 cards from manual dexterity, quick thinking, and quick getaway. We'll exhaust the lucky cigarette case and pickpocketing to draw 2 more cards. Just sneak by and sneak attack. Alrighty. Roland's card is Sticky Feet. Attached to the nearest ooze field location. Enter, we have to spin an action. Okay. Alrighty. So let's let Roland go first. We're going to use a Migo weapon. We are attacking a 2. We've got a 6-2. I don't remember if I added one there. I don't think I did. No, I definitely did. But did I? I don't know. If not, no, I did. Okay, so 6-2. Or, yeah. 6-2. We're gonna go overpower. So 8-2. Zero. So we succeed by more than 2, which deals 3 damage here. That hurts the Blob 1, and we get to discover a clue. We get to draw a card, which is a magnifying glass. We'll shuffle and we take 1 horror. And then after you discover any number of clues, reveal a token. Nope, we're good. That was 1 action. I need 1 more clue, which I think Winford could get. I think Winford could get the clue. So we should be okay there. We're going to gain 2 resources. No, we're going to gain 1 resource. We'll gain another resource. We'll gain 2 resources. Okay. Winfred is going to move over to the water tower. She is going to lockpick. So it's a 4. I'm testing 8. We're going to go 10, 11. 11-4. -5. Choose up to 5 cards from your hand. Devours each of those cards. You get +1 skill value for this test. Okay, so I was 11-4, so we are good. So -5. I do get to draw a card, though. I take a horror. And I get a clue. I get to take a action right now. For free. Two, 4, 6, 8. We're gonna just go emergency cash. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. We'll have 8 cards. We still have 2 cards left. Our 2 actions left. So we'll investigate using lockpicks again. We'll go 8-4 straight up. And we've got +1. Sweet. So we get this last clue here. We got 1 more action. I guess we'll go emergency cash. Okay. Okay. Feeling okay here. Okay, so enemy phase, nothing. This guy moves here. This guy moves here. The end of the round, we place one here. We'll unexhaust everybody. Get a resource. Draw a card. Shotgun. Shotgun's back. Get a resource. Draw a card. Draw the card card or the counterdeck against Surge. Test Brain 4 for each point you fail by. It devours each one of your resources or a random card from your hand. I'm okay with that. I have so many resources. So Brain 4. I got 1. Nailed it. Ooh. -5. Okay, so we're going to go 4 resources. And that gains Surge into... There are no manifold enemies in play. Otherwise attached to manifold enemy with the least remaining health. So it's up here. Okay. At the top of the round, we're going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 to progress. We're going to place the heart here. Oh wait, this advances. No, I think I missed a step here somewhere, but okay. So spin the 4. Choose any ooze field location. Spawn the heart. The heart is here. Okay. Alrighty. Winfred's card is Sticky Ooze. So we are not leaving this water tower. Then Roland's card is Ooze Wraith. Spawn furthest ooze field location. It's going to be here. That's a Blob 5. That's intense. That's a lot. Okay. So here we go. We're going to use Backstab. So we're going to spend 3 resources for Backstab. Attack uses Feet instead of Fist. It deals plus 2 damage. So we're going 5 to 0. Got a star. Oh, +1. After this test ends, for every 2 points you succeeded by, return a card committed. Okay, that's fine. So this does 3 damage. And 6 damage to Blob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, our second action, we're going to exhaust Chuck, play Backstab. We are going to get +2 and have it cost 1 or 2 less. And we're going against 3. So we're going 7 against 3. Nine, 10. Get to draw a card. 10 to 3. This is for all the marbles, yo. -5. We're good. Does 3 damage. Deals 6 damage to the Blob. Okay, well then, that happened. Wow. That was a lot. That was a really freaking cool scenario. I'm sure I misplayed a lot of stuff there. It's a pretty complex scenario. I guess anything that I did that was in favor of me meant that, or was kind of negated by the fact that I did not get the vulnerable heart out there. I didn't do a lot. That was a very messy play. I apologize because I forgot to discard cards to get the other enemies whenever the vulnerable heart went away. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I had fun with it. It's going to be one that I think I'm going to have a lot of fun going back and playing again. I would be more interested with, like, I don't know. It's just fun. It'll be a fun one to slip in to a scenario that we've been playing, or to a campaign. I feel like I think it costs 2 experience to go into a campaign that you're already going, but I mean, like, we gained a lot of experience that game. So really cool. I'm happy with that scenario. I thought that was a lot of fun. So what we're gonna do is we are going to go to Lord of the Rings next. My guess is that's probably gonna end our night. I'm getting a little tired. And we'll do Aeon's End at another time sometime. But we'll do Lord of the Rings, which we're doing the Hunt for the Dread Knight. So I'm gonna go to be right back. I'm gonna go grab something to eat real quick, and then set up, and we'll get Lord of the Rings going for the next scenario. So until then, I will see you all very soon.